Hey guys, let's turn 100 Divine into 1 Mirror. Why not? Well, we take, and I level 87, could be 86 plus, Spine Bow, which has bow attacks fire 2 additional arrows. And then of course we break down a little bit of the Divine into C. We're going to need the C later. C to Divine varies between 120 and 200. I was assuming around 150. So of course we regal it, we turn it rare, and well, we go here and we need to get 4 affixes, and I like to add a veiled affix. I add this Trigger Blood Rage affix because it seems to me a little bit less likely to hit a veiled affix when you fracture. So now we're going to buy a horribly expensive 41 Divine Fracturing Orb, and we're going to hope we hit that. It's like a 1 in 3 chance. They say 1 in 4. I almost never hit the veiled prefix. Now we're going to buy fairly expensive this league. Perfect fossils, because we need to use the perfect fossils, of course, to get the quality up. And when you hit 28, it's very rough. It's a rough call because it's kind of like blackjack. It's like 17 in blackjack. Do you hit? Do you stand? Normally, you just stand. I kind of held off when it's 29. When it's 30, you know, of course, you call it quits. But when it's like 27, 28, you have to keep going. It bothered me, even though I bought the tempering orbs. I was like, I gotta get this a little bit higher, 29 or 30. And I hit 29, and it wasn't quite 30, but it was enough to stop and call it quits. Now with the Tempering Orb, we're going to let Fate decide if this is going to be an elemental bow or a physical bow. So we do not want ailment, of course. We do not want caster. We do not want caster. We don't want caster. Now, fortunately, Tempering Orb's a little bit less expensive than in past leagues. Still relatively expensive, but we had 100 Divine to start, so it's okay. We'll keep going. We just need to hit Fizz, really is what we want, you know, or some kind of LE, and there it is. That's what we really want. %, explicit Fizz. Now, the next step is to buy Deafening Essences of Contempt. They have to be deafening. They have to be the best, because this is a very expensive base. And we're going to roll guaranteed added fizz, and we're going to roll for % fizz with accuracy. Now you can get, you know, tier 1% fizz, and then you have to use a harvest bench. Prefixes cannot be changed, and hope you hit even more fizz with accuracy. It's very painful. So what we're really doing is just rolling and hoping to hit tier 1 fizz with accuracy, because that's ideal. That makes it much easier, because then we can use a Veiled Chaos Slam. And we got it. We got it. Tier 1, which is nice. Now with these beautiful prefixes and this really nice, you know, enchant, and all the quality up, we add prefixes cannot be changed. We slam the veiled orb, and we hope to hit the last prefix. We hope to. Right here, when we unveil, we want fizz damage with bleeding, impale, poison, or blind. We don't care. Blind, impale, bleeding, poison, doesn't matter. It's nice, they're all tier 1. Now, of course, prefixes cannot be changed again, and we're going to reforge for speed modifier. You might hit projectile speed, you might hit attack speed. You have to go back and forth, and it's quite expensive, but it's fine. We had 100 Divine to start. Unless you have really bad RNG, you can usually make this bow in around right smack at 100 Divine. Takes about 100 Divine, sometimes 120 Divine. Especially if you use the Omen of Blanching, which I'm about to use. But back and forth, trying to hit tier 1 or tier 2 attack speed. Doesn't matter which one. They're both fine. Now we got lucky, of course. We got tier 1 attack speed. That makes it so much better because all the tier 1 implicits, prefixes. It works out really well. Now what's the last step? Of course, we just add on crit with attributes. Strength and intelligence. Spine bows have a very high crit chance. That's why most people use spine bows for this craft. Now it's done, basically, except of course we need to 6-link it. Now, of course, when you finger bang a different girl every night, needless to say, you have a lot of practice. You can go very quickly, and you just slam the old-fashioned way, jeweler orbs, until you get that right there. and that's perfectly adequate. You don't want to ever use the crafting bench to get 6 sockets. However, with modern day, with the Affliction League, it actually is more cost effective because they're not that expensive to buy fusing orbs to just bench craft on the 6th link. And that's fine. Now, the Omen of Blanching, it's very optional, but I like to do it because it makes the item prettier and easier to sell. And this one's sold for 300 Divine. We've turned 100 Divine into 300 Divine. Nearly guaranteed, if you don't use the Omen of Blanching, might be 120 Divine, 130 Divine with the Omen of Blanching, because they're like 4 Divine each. And it depends on your RNG. Now, I experimented with a lot of different ways to proceed. I found the absolute best way is to use Alva missions with contested development and resource reallocation and time dilation to build temples, and then we use Baptized by Fire to up our Syringet sharks. We do this because it's quite easy to make Locus of Corruptions. You can make 2 to 3 an hour, usually 3 an hour, if your build is strong enough. And then you go and you go boom! And you just fuck the tier 16 bosses, and it's very quick, and that way you get at least 1.5 Divine, up to 2 Divine per Incandescent Invitation. And then you get these are 6 Divine, the temples, the Locus of Corruptions are 6 Divine. Now what do we do next? Now we have lots of funds. We're gonna spend 350 Divine that we've earned now for a 420 non-corrupted Awakened Empower, which gives +3 to all gems, which is equivalent, of course, to a corrupted regular Empower, tier 4. But we have an opportunity here. We're going to use a Doriani's Institute, and we're going to put the bismuth of the Lapidary lens, and we're going to gamble, and it gives us 2 Corruption Slam opportunities to get the 520, which sells for an entire Mirror of Calandra. 350 Divine base. If you hit that, a Mirror of Calandra.